Nick? Yeah? Did you know that Von Karma's daughter is only 18? Just like me? Yeah. Why? I was just thinking about how strong she is. I mean, she's been in Germany all this time by herself, and she's so grown up. Yeah, and I'm sure she felt a lot of pressure from her father's reputation. And then you look at me, and, well... I'm the daughter of the Master, but I'm still just a little girl. And on top of that, I'm the suspect in a murder trial. But I think you're really strong too, Maya, for all you've gone through. Good morning. The two of you look like you're doing well today. I'm happy for you. Hey, morning, Pearly. You'll be safe today, Mystic Maya. Huh? What do you mean? My mother is coming today to show her support. Yeah, that's right, Pearly. Hey, Pearls. Yes, Mr. Nick? Do you think you could do me a big favor? Could you channel Mia today, too? Huh? I was sort of hoping to sit in the audience today and watch. Please, it's very important to me. I don't feel confident enough without her help. Mr. Nick, that's enough. You can't show weakness in front of the person you love. Pearly! Not this again. Please, can you do this for us, Pearls? Alright. I'll do it. I'll do it for Mystic Maya's sake. See you later, then. And I'll leave you to your alone time. Thank goodness. Nick? This way, Pearls won't be able to see today's trial. What do you mean? What's going on? Court is now in session for the trial of Maya Fey. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Let's start already. Mr. Phoenix Wright, I look forward to tonight's news with great joy. The image of your defeat will be transmitted all over the world. All over the world, huh? Sounds like you've made quite a name for yourself, Phoenix. Don't be foolish, you foolish fool wearing the foolishly foolish clothes. The famous one is me. I'm the prodigy who has never lost a case since becoming a prosecutor 5 years ago. Naturally, the world's eyes are on me as I conduct my first trial in this country. Uh-huh. That's nice, Miss Von Karma. Glad to see her in such good spirits today, Miss Fey. It's true what they say. Women really are scary when they fight. Now then, a very interesting theory was presented during yesterday's session. That the defendant could have left the channeling chamber, correct? Yes. And this key is proof of that. This key, the only key to the channeling chamber, was not where it should have been. Your Honor, I would like to say one thing before we begin. All right, let's hear it. The prosecution has determined that from the time of the murder to the time of the arrest, the defendant did indeed leave the room at one point. What? But, Miss Von Karma, then how do you explain this picture? Are you saying, then, that the person in this picture is not the defendant? I never said that wasn't the defendant. Then what is the meaning of this? All I'm saying is that Maya Fey, after killing the victim, exited the room. And I believe this is when she dropped this key. Can you substantiate your claim? Isn't that what I'm here for? The prosecution will like to call the defendant's aunt, Morgan Fey, to the stand. Just as I suspected. Aunt Morgan. Poor Mia. She seems really torn by this. Witness, name and occupation. My name is Morgan Fey, and I am a spirit medium in a manner of speaking. I'm sorry, but what do you mean in a manner of speaking? Ah! I don't think anyone really cares. Now then, after the murder took place, you kept watching over the defendant, correct? Yes, that is correct. I performed the spirit severing technique on Mystic Maya then. spirit-severing technique? A technique to remove a spirit from a body and send it back to the other world. That is... Yes, that is... You, be quiet. Now, witness. Something happened while you were performing this technique, correct? Yes, that is correct. What in the world could have... Mystic Maya. She escaped from the room. What? And here we come to the heart of the matter. Maya Fey, while in a possessed state, managed to escape from the channeling chamber. Order! 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 Miss Fey, please testify to this court what happened during this time. Your Honor, I will try my best. I think someone just upped the ante on this trial. After we heard the gunshots, those two broke the door open and entered the chamber. I requested that Mr. Wright and the other lady please contact the police. A pistol was hanging from Mystic Maya's hand and she was in a daze. Then, quite suddenly, she thrusted me away from herself and escaped from the room. With great strength, she hit the base of my neck and I fainted for a short while. I'm afraid I have no knowledge of where she went after that. Why have you hidden this until now? I did not wish to cause more trouble for Mystic Maya. However, I must correct falsities when they arise. That's right. She is simply correcting a falsity, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Why is she making it a point to take a stab at me? Never mind. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. My aunt is a very smart and sly person. It's going to be hard for us to find a crack in her testimony. Hold it! Just now you said those two. Who were the two people you were referring to? I was referring to that foreign lady and yourself, good sir. Lada's not a foreigner, despite how she talks. Oh, is that so? I'm sorry. I simply could not understand her atrocious English, not to mention she looked awful. I already see people in the Heartland gearing up for a riot. In any case, I have already sent the repair bill to your office, Mr. Wright. Oh, thanks. What did you do after that, Miss Fey? Hold it! Was it really necessary to have two people do something so simple as call the police? If there was a possibility of escape, then one of us should have stayed behind. Yes, that is a very good point. At the time, I myself was a little confused. On top of which, there was another... Another what, madam? Oh, it's nothing. No need to concern yourself. I want to hear the end of that sentence. There was another reason you wanted both of us out of that room, wasn't there? You must testify. Why did you chase us out of the room? I simply did not wish for there to be more victims. The lives of both the good sir and that camera woman may be in danger, is what I thought to myself. Well, that was very noble of you, Miss Fey. This is bad. Now people have a good impression of her and a bad one of us. Looks like she caught us napping. That's my aunt for you. Are you satisfied now, Mr. Wright? Miss Fey, please continue. Hold it! During our investigation, you stated that you struck the defendant on the head, and this strike caused Maya to lose consciousness. Do you stand by this statement? I'm afraid I don't. The statement I gave you was a lie. But why would you lie about something like that? It is very painful for me to say this, however... Objection! The witness was lying to cover for the defendant. She was covering for Maya? So, you were covering for the defendant? Well, yes. It was only later that I was informed of what had occurred. that the renegade Mystic Maya had done something very unexpected. Something unexpected? What, pray tell, did she... Oh! This witness didn't and couldn't have seen what happened. If you want to know what this unexpected thing was, there is always later. Yes, very well. Does it suddenly feel like there's a rock in the pit of my stomach? Now, witness, continue with what happened. Hold it! Was it really that easy for her to escape from you? I'm ashamed to admit to such a thing, however, yes. But you're physically larger and stronger than the defendant. There's no way she could have escaped from you so easily. Objection! Have you forgotten already, Mr. Phoenix Wright? What about this picture? Remember that at the time the defendant was not physically Maya Fey. Ugh! Growing old is such a mysterious thing. Trust me, I know firsthand. Basically, Mystic Maya's body was still that of the nurse she had called. But if she had run away, wouldn't you have given chase right away? Well, yes, I would have. However... Hold it! You fainted. I became dizzy, and then collapsed onto the floor. How long were you unconscious? I'm not sure. About 10 minutes, perhaps. And the defendant almost certainly went somewhere in that time. Happy, witness, elaborate on that point for us. Hold it! Is that because you were unconscious? Why, yes. Great. Well, now what? So while you were unconscious, you have absolutely no idea where the defendant went. I would think that's obvious, good sir. If that's true, then how can you know for sure that the defendant left the channeling chamber at all? Now that you mention it, I have to wonder myself. It's true that this witness is not able to confirm this. But the keyword here is this witness. What do you mean by that? It means she has another witness up her sleeve. That's what. Looks like Miss Von Karma is ready to move on to her next witness. That's enough. From what I can tell, there is nothing wrong with this witness's testimony. And from what she has said, we can establish that Maya Fey did leave the chamber. I hope this isn't going to come back and bite us in the ass. Now, let's take the next logical step and ask, where did the defendant go after leaving the channeling chamber? Yes, yes. That's exact- Eesh! Be quiet, you! Now then, what the escapee has done was... She had gone to speak with a certain person. She went to speak with someone? Who was it? The prosecution calls Miss Eeny Meeny, who was sleeping in the side room at the time. Eeny Meeny? I think you can see where this is headed. Witness, name and occupation. Okay, so my name is, like, Eeny Meeny. I'm, like, researching, like, parapsychology stuff at the, university. What is this parapsychology? Let's see. It's like, I guess most people call it occult stuff. Even if that's what most people call it, I can't say I understand what that means. Then I suggest you go home and research it yourself. Yes, sir. Now then, Miss Meany. After the murder took place, you spoke with the defendant, Maya Fey. Is this correct? Well... like, I guess? If that's the case, then let's hear your testimony. That is alright, isn't it, Your Honor? Yes, sir. For the love of all things good, Your Honor, have some spine. For my sake. Like, when the channeling started, I was, like, sleeping in the side room. Like, a little later, someone came into the room, like, really suddenly. It was like, oh my god, totally my sister. I, like, hadn't seen her in, like, so long. I was so happy in, like, a sad way. My sister, she, like, told me something, like, totally terrible. Now hold your horses, young lady. You're saying the person that entered was your sister? Don't you mean the defendant, Maya Fey? Really now, Your Honor. Maya Fey was still in the middle of channeling at the time. Are you saying that the spirit was the spirit of this witness's sister? Yes, Mimi. She was a nurse at Dr. Gray's clinic. Oh, well, this is... Witness. Like, yeah? In your testimony you mentioned a terrible thing. Why don't you tell the court what this terrible thing was? I'm sure we'd love to hear about it. Like, do I totally, like, really have to? Of course. Miss Meany, please. My sister, like, this is what she said to me. That was no accident. I was drugged with sleeping pills. I was murdered by that person. That's why I took my revenge. It's only fair, isn't it, Eenie? She took her revenge? Are you sure that's what she said? Yes. Dad, are you satisfied, Your Honor? I still can't believe it. I can't believe that a spirit would go so far as to use a medium to get revenge. It is a bit hard to swallow. However, all the evidence and testimonies point to this as the truth. The end. What do you think, Mr. Wright? It certainly seems like all the loose ends here are accounted for. This testimony just now, was it all made up? Was it all just one huge lie? Of course it was, Phoenix. Mia, what do you mean? It's well constructed, but that's all it is. But even the most well-spun lies can be undone. We can do it, Phoenix. Let's find that one loose thread and unwind this tapestry of lies. Your Honor, there is room for doubt, so the defense will cross-examine this witness. We believe that our cross-examination will reveal the real truth behind this murder. Yet again, the foolish fool spouts out more foolishly foolish drabble. I wonder if you'll make this one more entertaining than the last. Hold it! Was that because of your, sesame allergy, was it? Like, that's right. I, like, think there were sesame seeds, like, in the lunch they served that day. I had this, like, premonition that it was going to totally be a seedy day. Yes, indeed. I see. Am I the only one who missed the boat here? Anyway, so you were taking a nap. Did something happen while you were sleeping? Hold it! Do you know the time? Like, maybe a little before 11 a.m.? Something like that, I think? 11 a.m.? Yeah, like, my stomach is totally ready for, like, food. No, I think you misunderstood me. I'm not asking what time it is now. I meant what time it was when someone came into your room. Oh, so, like, that's what you meant. Like, you should have been more, like, clear about it. Sorry, my bad. No, it's okay. Like, it's really... That's it? Why'd you stop mid-sentence? Did I? So, like, what was I talking about again? Never mind. Witness about this person who entered the side room. Hold it! Are you absolutely sure? I guess? You guess? Was it or was it not your sister who entered? Like, I don't know. I mean, like, I totally don't know your sister at all, Mr. Smith. First off, my name is not Mr. Smith. Second, I'm an only child. But more than that, she's managed to mess up the question with her answer. Well, Mr. Wright, the defense rests. Well, that was a colossal waste of our time. Now then, witness, how did you feel when you saw Miss Mimi? Hold it! You were happy in a sad way? Yeah, like, I mean, it was my sister. But wouldn't most people react here with surprise at seeing a dead loved one alive again? But, like, maybe if I was, like, someone who didn't know about, like, the occult? But I, like, know all about the Kurine channeling technique? The point here is that the witness immediately recognized that it was her sister. Yeah, like, what she said. Should I drop this line of questioning? So, you really didn't think anything strange of the whole encounter? No. Like, there wasn't any reason for me to, like, think anything was strange. But... Ow! Don't keep badgering her! You know the phrase, objection? Could you try using that once in a while? Mr. Wright, this question of what the witness felt when she saw her sister, is it really that important? It is very important, although I haven't quite figured out what it is yet. But I've got to bluff for now and make it seem like I know what I'm talking about. Alright, Mr. Wright. Miss Meanie, please amend your testimony. Like, okay, I'm like, totally cool with that. Objection! That was a very well-spun lie, Miss Meanie. What are you babbling about this time, Mr. Phoenix Wright? It's well-constructed, but that's all it is. Stealing my lines now, are we, Phoenix? Miss Meanie, may I remind you of what you said? You said that there was nothing strange about your sister's appearance. Like, yeah, and? But I don't think that's what you were thinking at all. Take a look at this picture. This is a picture of the sister you met. I would think that even you would be surprised if someone appeared before you like this. The blood spray. Miss Meanie, why did you not include the blood you saw in your testimony? If you were really testifying and not lying, you would have noted it right off the bat. Order! Order! Miss Meanie, what is the meaning of this? Miss Meanie? I'm thinking! Don't interrupt me! That... And what were you stammering about, Your Honor? Well, that witness. Her personality did a complete 180 there. Lots of people do that when they get on the stand, though. First of all, calm yourself, witness. Like, I'm sorry, I, like, didn't mean to snap. Now, hurry up with the testimony. If you please. The judge still looks a little shaken up. A lot of help he's going to be. Like, the side room was, like, kinda dark, you know? So, like, the costume is, like, purple, right? The blood totally blended right in. And I, like, persuaded my sister it wasn't, like, right to do something like that. And then, like, I took my sister to the channeling chamber. Yes, now I see. And you have given us a clear reason for why you didn't notice the blood. You think? Like, thanks, Gramps. Are you satisfied, Mr. Wright? Alright, I guess not. Very well. You may question the witness. Hold it! Was your sister calm by that time? Like, I guess so? I guess maybe, like, taking her revenge on Dr. Gray, like, made her feel a lot better? I'd like to feel a lot better too, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The sooner the better. She says with her whip at the ready. And, like, Miss Morgan was the only one in the channeling chamber, you know? It's no good. Can't find anything wrong. Phoenix, the judge believes this testimony. If you don't find some sort of hitch in her statement, he'll end the trial. I know. We have to give it another shot. Doesn't matter how many times we listen, we can't give up. Hold it! And what was your sister, Miss Mimi Meanie, like at the time? Well, she was, like, totally flipped out because she just shot Dr. Gray. But I think, like, she knew. She, like, said she did something really bad. And, like, she said she wanted to go with me to, like, apologize to Miss Morgan. Did Meanie's spirit really say all that to you? Like, yeah. May I ask you one more thing, Miss Meanie? Like, sure. Was there anything you found strange, unusual, or just out of place? Something out of place? Huh? Like, when do you mean? When? When you... I'm talking about when you were going to the channeling chamber, of course. Like, no, nothing strange. She answered rather quickly. Now what? Think harder. I know you can remember something. I, like, totally can't. That's not good enough. You have to explain yourself clearly to this court. Do you think, Mr. Wright, that whether or not there was something odd on the way to the channeling chamber is all that important? I ask because it is very important. Not that I know where I'm going with this. Very well. Miss Meanie, if you will, please include a statement about this in your testimony. Like, I don't get why, but okay. Objection! I finally found the fault. Or, I guess in your case, the crack in your perfect lie. Take a look at this urn. Like, urn? There are cracks. Do you see them? So, like, what does that prove?
Objection!
Who cares about some worn-out old urn? Like, yeah. I already, like, said I didn't see, like, anyone on the way to the channeling chamber. I didn't, like, totally say anything about, like, an urn, did I? It looks like you still don't understand. I propose that if you had really been walking along the winding way at that time, there was no way you could not have seen this person. Take that! I'd like to introduce someone to you. This is Miss Morgan Fay's daughter, Pearl Fay. Yes, and how is this child relevant? It just so happens that at the time of the murder, Pearl was playing in the center garden. Oh. And she just happened to break this urn. Oh. Oh! Wait, she broke the urn? Yup, she accidentally knocked it over with her ball. And Pearl was the one to put it back together, while sitting right in the middle of the winding way. What?! Miss Meanie. Pearl was there in the winding way at the time. She was hard at work putting the pieces of the urn back together. If you couldn't see that while you were walking, I'd have to declare you legally blind. I think I've sufficiently proven one thing, Miss Meanie. You are a masterful liar. Mr. Wright, you need to watch what you say. The one who needs to watch what she's saying is the witness. So, Miss Meanie, tell us the truth. About what? About what? About where you really were at the time of the murder, of course. Objection! The witness just testified about that. That's right. I was, like, sleeping in the side room. Can I really believe her? Was she really sleeping in the side room? Your lies end here. What do you... The witness says that during the actual murder, she was asleep in the side room. And I say that's not possible, because there's clearly a contradiction here. A contradiction? Where is this contradiction? Earlier in your testimony, Miss Meany, you made the following statement. And, like, Miss Morgan was the only other one in the channeling chamber, you know? It's true that at the time, both myself and Miss Hart were not there. We had gone to call the police. So? Like, what does that, like, have to do with anything? It's very simple. Miss Meany, how did you know that fact? How? I concede that Miss Fey was the only person in the channeling chamber. However, someone who was asleep in the side room could not have known that. Which means, Miss Meany, you did in fact go to the channeling chamber. But you didn't go there by the way of Winding Way. Wah! But look at the Manor Guide map. If one were to go between the side room and the channeling chamber, one would have to use the Winding Way. Yes, that's right, Your Honor. Which is why I asked this very important question. Where was this witness at the time of the murder? Miss Meany, please answer the question. Objection! Don't ask a question off of a baseless assumption, if you please. Well, I suppose since you've put it out on the table, Mr. Phoenix Wright, you might as well answer the question for us. Where was the witness at the time of the murder? Now's your chance, Phoenix. Yeah. The only person who could have killed Dr. Gray was Eenie Meenie. So now is the time to prove it. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer. Where was the witness when the murder took place? Take that! Miss Meany was here, of course. Well, but that's the channeling chamber. Isn't that the crime scene? That's right. Miss Meany was at the scene of the crime. Order! 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 That's... Wait, that is... Wah! Mr. Phoenix Wright, have you lost your mind? Yesterday's testimony established that only the victim and the defendant were in the channeling chamber when the channeling started. Yes, that is correct. Please explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Simple. Miss Eenie Meenie was hiding at the scene of the crime. I was hiding? Where? Like, where was I hiding? Take that! Here, of course. Behind the folding screen? Ah! Don't make me say this again. Recall yesterday's testimony. There ain't no way anyone was hanging out behind that folding screen. See? You stupid jerk! Quit being so quick to pin it on me, slimeball! Now, Miss Meanie, one so young as you shouldn't be saying, "Shut it, Gramps," as if you know exactly how old I am. I'm sorry. Looks like the pipe's about to burst. Guess I should help it along. The witness was hiding behind the folding screen with the help of this. Take that! Miss Meanie, how you were able to hide yourself at the scene of the crime is very simple. You were hiding inside this box. Ah! That tiny little box! No person can fit in that! Sorry, but your theory has already been disproved. Lotta disproved you when she was hiding from me in it. Objection! But that clothing box was in the side room, right? Which means it has nothing to do with the murder at all. That's right. I was sleeping there, so I should know. That clothing box was there in the side room the whole time. Mr. Wright, do you think you can prove where the clothing box was at the time of the crime? And now I present the piece of evidence that will prove this clothing box was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place. Take that! Take a look at this clothing box. You're so stupid, as if there's any sort of evidence in that old thing. This... what on earth? I don't have time for you to sit there surprised. Hurry up and say it already. There's a hole about 8 inches off the ground. A hole about 8 inches off the ground. Where have we heard that before? The folding screen. It had a hole at the same height. That's right. I hope this has opened your eyes to what happened. At the time of the shooting, the clothing box was sitting behind the folding screen, which is why the bullet from the pistol hit both the box and the folding screen. It went through the screen and then into the box. Miss Meanie, you were hiding behind the folding screen, waiting for your chance. Yes, for your chance to kill Dr. Gray. Ah! Order! Order! So, what you want to say? Objection! Then, Mr. Phoenix Wright, what about this picture? Are you saying that the person in this photo is Miss Eenie Meenie? That is exactly what I am saying. Miss Eenie Meenie, you were hiding inside this clothing box all along. And you wore a medium's costume to masquerade as Maya Fey. To masquerade as Maya Fey? She had it planned from the very beginning. She would kill Dr. Gray and pin the blame on my client. No. Stop! I can't stand to listen to any more of this foolishness. If that's the case, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then I have a proposition. This whole idea that the witness moved the clothing box to the crime scene, pretended to be the defendant, killed the victim, and then fled the scene of the crime. It's not possible for one person to do that all by herself. It really isn't possible. For one person to do all the preparations, that is. Ow! Need I remind you, the foolish receive no mercy. Wait. Miss Von Karma, you said it was not possible for one person, correct? You can't be serious. Miss Meanie, you had an accomplice. Take that! This person. If it wasn't someone from Karine Village, you couldn't have gotten the costume. And if it wasn't someone from the Fey household, you wouldn't have that box to use. Morgan Fey. Isn't that the wonderful lady witness we had just earlier? What do you have to say to this, Miss Meanie? You shot Dr. Gray with your own 2 hands. Do you deny it? I think this is what really happened. The murderer had planted herself at the scene of the crime long beforehand. Dressed in a medium's costume and wearing a wig, she pretended to be the defendant. And then, the channeling started. The murderer crept silently toward the other 2, both of whom had their eyes closed. First, she drugged Maya Fey with a strong sleeping agent. Then, she stabbed Dr. Gray with the knife. Next, she hid my client inside the clothing box. She did that so she could take Maya's place and frame her for the crime. But that's when something unexpected happened. Unexpected? Yes. Dr. Gray was not actually dead. With the last of his strength, he fired a shot at his attacker. And that is why the hole in the folding screen was so low to the ground. The murderer then took the gun from Dr. Gray, and... after that, you and the other lady thought to break into the room. Yes, a gunshot is certainly something you wouldn't expect to hear. Which is why, upon hearing the shots, we forced our way into the channeling chamber. Miss Meanie, she immediately covered her own costume with blood. And pretended to be Maya Fey. That sort of deception would have been easy to see through. Which is precisely why Morgan Fey chased us out. Please leave this area to me. Go quickly and inform the police. Hurry, before there are more victims here. What is one supposed to say? This is the real truth behind this murder. Who is that? Laughing at a time like this? Ah! Oh, you simple-minded fools. I'm sorry. Are you still by chance evolving? What is it this time? Miss Von Karma, surely. Of course it was me. You really think someone of Von Karma blood would lose due to something this petty? What in the world? Mr. Phoenix Wright, your argument is flawed in one very crucial area. And that is, if this witness is the real murderer, why would she go through all this trouble? Huh? Working together with a medium, pretending to be one, putting on this whole act. What reason would she have to do such foolish things? Well, that's, yeah, that's right. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Oh, and one other thing. Why would Miss Eenie Meenie want to kill Dr. Gray? Where is her motive? Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to say too. Yeah, motive. I don't have a motive. A motive. That's... I can't say she has no motive here. I have to think of a motive now. What is her reason for wanting Dr. Gray dead? The reason you wanted Dr. Gray dead is this. Take that! Ha! Just as I thought. You bore me with your silly answers, Phoenix Wright. Just great. Now even she's calling me by my full name. You think I did this to get revenge for my sister's death? Yes. Because through that accident, you suffered a lot of hurt and pain yourself. Don't be stupid. No one has proof that Dr. Gray drugged my sister, right? And you want to say I wanted to take my revenge based on nothing? What do you mean by that? Senile, stupid Gramps. I'm, like, going to explain, so, like, please listen, okay? It's been over half a year since I was discharged from the hospital. If I, like, wanted revenge, then, like, I wouldn't have waited this long. And besides, like, the guy that thought of the spirit thing was, like, Dr. Gray. It was, like, a total coincidence he asked me about it, you know? She's back to her airhead persona. However, you see... Yeah! Pathetic, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You failed to support your own theory. The end. I think we have our answer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What Miss Meanie has stated is very true. The revenge plan is overly complicated and she has no motive in the first place. Furthermore, there is no reason for Miss Morgan Fay to cooperate with this plan. You don't even have any truly decisive pieces of evidence to demonstrate your point. So many faults, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You should really learn your place. What happened? I thought I had her for sure. See? Like, it's just as I, like, told you. I hope you liked your slice of humble pie. Very well. I now conclude the cross-examination of Miss Eenie Meenie. Your Honor, please allow the defense one more minute. All right. You can't lose here. Have faith in yourself, Phoenix. Mia. Yes, it does sound like a ridiculously messed up plan for a murder. But, you know, regardless, that girl trained for this crime. Really? Listen, Phoenix. Everything happens for a reason. There is a reason for why she had to kill Dr. Gray. And it is also the reason she had no choice but to kill him in this fashion. Time is up, Mr. Wright. Your final answer, please. If you want to say that you can prove Miss Meanie had a motive, then why did she kill the victim in this way? Can you provide the reason? Can I really do this? I'm not totally confident here, but I know that I must press on no matter what. That's right, Phoenix. Only you can do this now. I will show and substantiate the fact that Miss Meanie had a motive. Too bad. You're too late. My cross-examination is already ended, after all. Interesting. I'll let you have your chance, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? You're supposed to be on my side! Ah! Avant Karma only cares about the perfect win. As long as you have the will to fight, I will knock you down, Mr. Phoenix Wright. And I don't care if you are my witness. So help me, I will throw you out of my way. No way. Very well. The court will take a 5-minute recess. We will continue the cross-examination after we reconvene. Hey, wait a second, you...